Hello, incoming sixth grade students. I am Mrs. Nyworth, the head of St. George's Middle School, and most students here call me Mrs. N. Due to distance learning this spring, we didn't get to welcome the incoming class the way we usually do, which is with a transition day where the whole class of fifth grade students come visit the middle school and have lunch with the current sixth grade class, and then spend the afternoon going to various sixth grade classes. We still want to welcome you to the middle school, but we're going to do it this year with videos that the teachers made for you. This way you can meet two of your teachers for next year, see the classrooms, and get an idea of how things will look and work next year. We tried to give you the gist of a 3-hour visit in a 30-minute video, so if you need to pause it midway and come back, please do that. We're going to start with messages from the fifth grade teachers.
Hey, fifth graders. Today starts your journey into the middle school. I can't believe that's already happening, but you're so prepared and you're so ready. We're excited to send you guys off into bigger things. Today you will be with Mr. Kirsch and Miss Slattengren. Get used to those names, and good luck today.
Hello, fifth graders. I can't believe that it is already time for the 5th to 6th transition day. This year has been an incredible year, even with all of the setbacks and everything that we've had to go through together as a community and as a fifth grade family. Lisa and I are so excited for your next part of your academic journey in the middle school with the 6th grade team. The 5th and 6th grade teams hope that this video will give you a little bit of an insight into what you can expect as you make your way into 6th grade in the fall.
Now we're going to go visit Mr. Kirsch's classroom. He is holding distance learning class for two very special students who I think you might recognize.
Voldemort! That is exactly right, yes! The pink wheelchair is symbolism and out of my mind. Now, who can tell me why? Mike? Mike, what do you think? You need to do what? You need to go to the bathroom? Just stand up and go. You're in Mr. Kirsch's class. If you need to use the restroom, just get up and go. Now, Voldemort, what were you going to say? How is the pink wheelchair symbolism? Oh, hey, fifth graders. Welcome to 6th grade. I am Mr. Kirsch, and I am going to be your teacher for a whole bunch of stuff this year. And I wanted to give you a quick introduction into what 6th grade looks like. Now, we've got Mike here, we've got Voldemort, and they're pretty awesome students, but I cannot wait to have you guys up here in my classroom starting in the fall. You're going to get me for World Cultures, you're going to get me for English class, you might get me for PE, and about half of you are going to get me for an advisory period, a tutorial period, where you get to work on homework and do all the things that you need to do so that your life at home is easy breezy. Now, in Mr. Kirsch's class, I've got some rules. Like, for one, if you want to eat, you can eat. I love to eat. Now, not usually McDonald's, but hey, during the COVID-19 pandemic, when in Rome, you just got to do what the Romans do, right? And McDonald's fries are pretty good. But you can eat in my classroom. You can drink in my classroom. You know, or you will get to know that Mr. Kirsch loves his Dr. Pepper. But you got to keep it clean. Can't be dropping fries on the floor because the mice like to come and get them. So we got to keep it off the floor. If Mike needs to go use the bathroom, he stands up and he quietly goes to use the bathroom. It's pretty easy, right? Bathroom's right down the hall. He comes back. I'm going to pick this up. I don't like the stuff on my floor. But you guys are going to be in this classroom pretty often. You're going to get me for World Cultures, right? I come over to the map over here. The idea of World Cultures is that you're going to learn all about these different cultures that are around the world. We're going to talk about places like Cuba, who have really not a ton of resources. They've been blocked off by the United States for a really long time, and yet they live longer than people in the United States. Their education is right even with us in the United States, even though the United States, we make like 5 times as much as they do. It's crazy. We're going to learn about places like Qatar, who's getting ready to host a World Cup in 2022. And they've got some crazy working conditions for their people there. And one of the things you're going to hear a lot from me in this class as we talk about culture is how no culture does anything wrong. They just do things differently. Now, some of the moral things that we'll cover, you could say, yeah, that's probably wrong. But overall, cultures do things differently because that is how they've been set up, and based off what's around them, that is how they have to live. We're going to talk about a country in Africa called Mali, and we're going to focus in on a family there, a family of 10, and they live on less than $1 per day, and they have to make a 6-mile round trip every time they want to get clean water. And you'll ask yourself, well, why would they have to do that? Oh yeah, and they live in a mud house. Why would anybody want to do that? Well, what you have to understand about different cultures is that they have different circumstances. They have different resources that they can use. And so that family in Mali is doing what they can to survive. And if that means living in a mud house, if that means making that 6-mile journey every day to get clean water, then that's what they're going to do. All right, so World Cultures is all about examining cultures outside of what we're used to. We're going to cover religion. We're going to talk about geography. You're going to learn that there are some places on this earth that have 24 hours a day of nothing but sunlight. And then at other times of the year, they have 24 hours a day with no sunlight at all. How can that be? Well, it has everything to do with the tilt of our axis, right? And you're going to see this globe a lot, and I don't know if you can see, there's a big dent right there. 2 of them, actually. Well, this sits on my desk, and 6th graders like to walk by and accidentally knock it off. And it makes me kind of sad, but at the same time, it gives it character, I think. I think this has got good character now. So, we're going to learn all about these places on the globe with the idea that we're going to examine culture and learn that, hey, people do things differently and that is okay. In English class, I'm gonna pick you guys up and move you a little bit. We're gonna be on the move a little bit today. And as I bring you over here, we're gonna study these books right here. I don't know if you can see that. These books right here are gonna be kind of our focus of study in English class. And they all have awesome plot lines. You guys are gonna read Refugee and Walk 2 Moons over the summer. And then we're gonna get into Out of My Mind and The Giver and this book called Buddha Boy. And they all have awesome plot lines, but here's the deal. We're going to focus on those plot lines, but they are not the goal. These books have some amazing messages in them. They focus a lot on just using symbolism to explain things. And so we're going to dive into these books right here to learn more about what the author's trying to teach us. Yeah, they want us to go around on an awesome journey with them, and they want us to dive in with those characters, but they also want us to learn something. And hopefully we're going to learn a lot from these books. All right? We're going to do some writing in English class, which is going to be pretty awesome. You guys are going to learn how to keep working on an essay, which the 6th graders are super excited about right now. And we're also going to do a ton of writing that you enjoy, fiction writing, showing and not telling, telling us a story, but doing so that as the reader we can see what's going on. Okay, I'm going to keep moving, and we're going to come out of the classroom here. And you're going to see, there's my door, okay? And we're going to go down the hall because Miss Slattengren has some stuff that she wants to share with you. And then I'll come back and show you the ropes of middle school. There's our Genius Hour wall. We'll see that again. And we're going to go into Miss Slattengren's room here. She's right down the hall. We'll walk past some lockers. Here's Miss Slattengren's room. And she's going to tell you a little bit about what science and math are going to look like this year. Spells and potions, Voldemort's favorite class. I'll be back.
Hello, incoming 6th graders. I wish I was meeting you all in person right now, rather than via video like this. But my name is Miss Slattengren. I will be your math and science teacher next year. I can't wait to have you guys up in the middle school with us. We're going to have a blast next year. Middle school is a ton of fun. There's so much learning and growing and making mistakes, and it's all great because we all get to do it together up at the middle school. So a few things about myself. My name is Miss Slattengren. I love the outdoors. So I love hiking, and I love rafting, and I love climbing. This summer I'm hoping to do a lot of backpacking trips, getting outside. I was a raft guide for 5 summers, so when I can get on the river, I love to be on the river. And then I also enjoy climbing. So lots of summer sports. Can't wait for summer. Hopefully I can still we can all get outside and enjoy while still social distancing. Something else about me, I love coffee, tea, and chocolate. Usually when I'm teaching, I have either coffee or tea with me, and I've probably already eaten some chocolate because I love it. And then the third thing about me is I am born and raised in the Seattle area, suburb of Bothell, but I now love living in Spokane. I'm very proud of being from Spokane now, but I am a big Seahawks fan, so can't wait for some football this fall, and go Hawks. Okay, so I teach math and science. I love these subjects. I think they're so interesting and so applicable to our lives. So we use math every day. You use it in baking, you use it when you're purchasing things, which you're going to be purchasing things probably for the rest of your life. So it's applicable now, it's applicable years and years from now as you're maybe creating budgets, figuring out sale prices, figuring out what's the best deal. So we use math for all of those things. You will also use math if you're ever building something. You better use the math. Otherwise, you might have your measurements off, whatever you're building might not be the right size or the right dimensions, and it might tip over. So super important to know math for that. If you're traveling and maybe you're calculating miles and distance, or maybe you're traveling abroad and you need a currency conversion, so how much money is a US dollar worth in Europe, those kinds of things. The last one I've written down on here, managing time, so you might need to know math if you're trying to manage your time and prioritize and figure out those things. So super applicable. Sometimes we learn something and then you're using it the next day in your life, which is really cool. Science, I also love science, and science helps us understand the world around us. So we're always asking questions in science. Why is something like this? What happens if this changes? And the more we study science, the better our understanding of this amazing and complex world we have around us. So super cool subjects. I can't wait to get to explore them with you guys next year. But to start off today, we're going to do a little experiment. I'm going to do a little experiment. You guys get to watch. So we'll see how it goes. So my first question for you guys is, have you ever wondered if a strawberry is alive or not? You're like, I eat them all the time. Have you ever thought about, are they a living thing? Are they not alive? Were they alive? Well, in 6th grade, that is something that we will find out. We study what makes something alive and living and what makes something not alive. So I'm not going to tell you, but you guys can think on it. And next year, you'll find out what makes something alive. However, today, what we are going to do is we are going to look at the DNA of a strawberry. So I am going to tell you it has DNA. Maybe that's going to be a hint to your other question, if it's alive or not. It does have DNA, and today we're going to try to look at it with our bare eyes. So to do that, what I've done so far, I took a little hunk of strawberry, so I cut it up like this, took a little hunk, I put it in a bag, and I squished it. It took a little bit of time to squish it, so I've already squished it before I started recording. So we've got squished strawberry in a bag. This is just helping break it up so it's not a huge hunk of strawberry. Definitely can't just see the DNA in the big old strawberry. Can't see its DNA yet. So squish it up, and now I'm going to add a little bit of soapy water. So in this jar, unfortunately, I'm not in my usual science lab. This is my living room. Welcome. So I don't have my usual supplies. So where I wish I was using a beaker, I'm using a jam jar. It is safe. I just have, this is dish soap, so my usual kitchen dish soap and water. So it's actually probably cleaner than it usually is. Good. And I'm going to pour it in. So I've got a little dish soap and water. I'm going to pour it in with my strawberry mixture, and I'm going to mix it up. So I'm going to seal it nice and tight. Okay, and then I'm going to keep mixing, squishing it all up. This is going to help break apart some of those small particles in the strawberry. So the strawberry has tons of cells. It's made up of cells, which, yes, we do get to learn about cells next year. Cells are super cool, very necessary, basic unit of life. So maybe that's another hint if a strawberry is alive or not. It does have cells. It is made up of cells, and cells are the basic unit of life. But as I'm doing this, the soap is helping break apart all of the cells in the strawberry. So we're breaking apart, breaking apart, breaking apart. Okay, so now I have this lovely, soapy strawberry mixture. And my next step is going to be to funnel it. Unfortunately, I also don't own a funnel or a cheesecloth. If I had cheesecloth, that would be the most ideal right now. However, what I do have is a coffee filter. This is from my French press. It'll get washed before I make coffee tomorrow morning. So I'm going to use that to filter my now soapy strawberry mixture. So here we go. I'm going to hold this hole in the middle from the French press. I'm going to do my best to filter, nice, all the strawberry mixture. So some of the stuff that's sitting on the top of my filter right now are just the seeds, some of the pulp that I didn't get all the way mashed up. And you can see we're getting some of that strawberry at the bottom. Well, maybe you can't see. I might have to scoot this closer to you. Once I pour it all out, get it all filtered. Make sure you guys can see this. Okay, so we now have a pretty good collection of just that liquid now from the strawberry. So there's definitely still strawberry bits in that liquid, right? I've filtered out some of the seeds and the bigger chunks, but here we still have lots of the proteins, and yes, still the DNA is now in our liquid. Okay, so I've got this strawberry liquid mixture. What I'm gonna do is add, this is isopropyl alcohol, and what it should do is separate out some of the strawberry stuff from our DNA. So hopefully, if this works, we will be able to see our DNA at the end of this. So as I pour it, I'm gonna pour it down the side of my jam jar. Because I don't want it to mix too much. Okay, so as I'm looking, I'm getting up close with it, so I make sure I can see. Let's see if I can scoot my computer back a little bit so you guys can see a little bit without knocking it off my coffee table. Okay, so now if we're looking at this jam jar, I'm gonna bring it closer to you guys. Can we see that? Here at the bottom is this dark pink. That's the strawberry stuff. Now we've got this clear liquid. Most of that's isopropyl alcohol. Right where they meet, it's kind of cloudy, hazy, opaque colored, if you will. That is the DNA. So I can see it pretty good when I hold it up here. Let me get it nice and close to the camera. See if you guys can see angles. Here we go. That you've got the dark strawberry at the bottom, the isopropyl alcohol, and it's kind of a little fuzzy and hazy, that cloudy looking, right in between as those two meet, as the dark pink and the clear meet. That is the strawberry DNA. So now I'm going to see if I can get it out with a chopstick. We'll see if it works or not. Sometimes these are hard to pull out. So that right there, that was hanging down there, the like kind of like gooey, almost mucus-like, if you will. Oh yeah, here's a good hunk. That is that strawberry. That's the strawberry's DNA. So pretty cool. We extracted DNA from a strawberry. This is something that you will learn. DNA is going to be something we will learn more about in 6th grade. My 6th graders are learning about it right now, and we talk about it throughout the year because it's a really important molecule in life science. So I can't wait to get to explore and experiment more with you guys next year as you move up into the 6th grade and the middle school. I will see you guys in the fall.
What is up, you guys? Did you meet Miss Slattengren? She is the coolest, right? And you get her multiple times a day in math and science. She's going to teach you all this amazing stuff. They're doing DNA right now, which is just super cool. She also cares so much about you guys, and she will do anything to help you out. All you got to do is ask, and all you got to do is work with her. If you're willing to work with her, she is going to rock it for you. All right? So I'm going to flip you around because I want to show you that you're in Miss Slattengren's room class, and I want to take you quickly through the rest of the middle school. So right next to Miss Slattengren is Mr. Hutchinson, and this is his lab. As I keep moving, you'll go through this door and you'll go into his classroom. And in 7th and 8th grade, this is where you get lunchies if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing or if you're way behind in your schoolwork. I'm going to give you a little hint right now. Okay, I'm going to show you my face. Give you a hint. If you ask questions, then you will be awesome in middle school and high school. Simple as that. Now, yes, you need to be organized. Yes, you need to figure out a system that works, and you got to do some homework, and you got to study for tests, and you're going to get better at all that. That's what middle school is all about, is getting better at those things. But if you're willing to ask questions, then you will crush it. All right? Ask questions. You ask questions, you never have to do lunchies with Mr. Hutchinson. Okay? I'm going to go through his door here, and I'm going to show you that we pop back out in the same hallway that we were just in. There's Miss Slattengren's class, Mr. Hutchinson's class. We're going to quickly move to Senora's classroom, Senora McGugan. And she, don't tell anybody this, but she's probably my favorite. And she's my favorite because she has so much energy. You guys are going to be playing games in here and getting fly swatters and breaking boards. She is awesome. And what I really love about her is she cares so much. So much so that she will literally chase you down the hall when you haven't turned something in. And she's going to ask you, hey, why don't we come in my room and we get some lunch studying in so you can get caught up. And take her up on that. Okay? Okay. Because she is going to make you better and she's going to get you caught up so you're never behind. Senora is awesome, and you will get her at least half the year for Spanish. I go down the hall, copy room. You're not really going there. Mr. Kangas, you get him for 7th and 8th grade. He's a math whiz. All right, he's going to teach you all about why math is cool, and he's also a math is cool coach. Here's his Hall of Kang. You'll be up on this board someday for winning some math games in his class. You won't have Miss Bassett this year, but I wanted to show you her room because it's super cool. She's the 7th and 8th grade English teacher. She's got couches. She's got cool like actors' chairs. She does a lot of really awesome projects that I think you guys are going to really love. I keep moving. You see the commons area. This is where we hang out, have our Monday morning meetings. This is where you eat lunch every day. I want to take you into the Makerspace. A lot of you have already spent some time in here, but you're going to get to spend a lot more if you want to. And it's got some really cool things. It's got some 3D printing that you can see. We got a laser cutter. We got vinyl stickers. All of you will get to make a sticker for your computer to start the year. And if you go through some training, you get to make cool stuff like that. So the Makerspace is pretty awesome. There's a green screen in here sometimes that we use. I'm keeping moving. There's the common area again. Let's go check out Meghan's office. And most of you have been here before, even from the lower school. But this is where Meghan gets to hang out. She's rarely in here because she cares so much about you guys that she is constantly moving. And she is constantly helping. And so if you have an issue, if there's something that you need to talk about, she is the one to go to. She is rocking it as our school counselor. And make sure you use her whenever you need some assistance. Mrs. Nauert's office, our principal, and please go say hi to her in her office. She likes students to come in, but don't go in there if you're in trouble. But don't be that person. Be a good boy and girl so you don't have to go in there and have conversations. Dun, dun, dun. All right, keep moving. And before you know it, there's Michelle's office. Michelle runs the school, and she has all the answers to everything, FYI. And then we get back to my classroom, and here is the fun stuff. The lockers. You will get one of these magical lockers. Oh, there's Mr. Kirsch's room. Say hi every time you come by. But then we get back to magical lockers. Here's Mr. Melka's room. And Mr. Melka's pretty awesome. He cares so much and wants to be friends with everybody. And he does an awesome job. He's kind of a project-based teacher, so lots of cool projects. You can see some of those in the background there. Don't take advantage of Mr. Melka, because he wants to be fun, and he is probably the most fun teacher in this entire school. But make sure you are listening in his class, because the more you listen, the more fun things you get to do. Mr. Melka also coaches tennis and coaches cross country and coaches basketball in the winter. Mr. Melka is a man of all trades. He's pretty awesome. Back to lockers. Look at these things. Yes. You get one of these one day. And if I come here, you'll see, like, I'm going to zoom in. It is not locked. Most of the lockers are not locked during the school year, and that is because there is so much trust in this building. And all the students trust that their stuff is always going to be there. It's so much like a family. If I come up here, I want to show you. I take the locker off. Look how much space you get. Down to there for all of your things. Pictures and books and bags. And then I turn around and look at all these hooks right here on the wall. That is where your computer bags go, where your coats go. The only place that stuff should not go is on the floor. If they go on the floor, then you get to go to Mrs. N's office and grab it, but also you get a little assignment. You don't want to do it. So just make sure you put them on a hook or in your beautiful locker. Now let's get to the fun stuff. I come over here. I'm going to set you down for a second because I want to show you the lock. Yes, there it is in all its power. Do you see it? Do you love it? Do you know how to open it? Because I'm going to lock it. And now we have to learn how to open it. It's not that bad, I promise. All you got to do is, my hand's going to be in the way a little bit, but you spin it clockwise and you go to the first number. And I'm going to go to 6. And there, I'm at 6. And then what I need to do next is I'm going to go past the number that I need to. Now I'm going counterclockwise. I went past 20, and I'm going to come back to 20. Boom. Now I'm at 20. And then my last step is I'm going to go straight to the number that I need. And I believe it was 34. If I go to 34, boom. It is open, and I can get into my locker. Once again, clockwise to your number. Counterclockwise past your number, boom, and then finish up straight to the number you need, back to clockwise. It opens, and you can get all your stuff all the time. But guess what? If you're having issues, come talk to me. I'm a master locksman. I will get these things open for you every time. Boom. Next thing I want to show you. Here I am. I'm going into this room right here with all of these cool microwaves. And it just so happens I popped myself some popcorn because that's what middle schoolers love to do. We love to eat, and we love to eat popcorn. And so I'm going to eat. Oh, it's so good. I'm not really caring that everything's going on the floor because I love it so much. You are welcome to have this all of the time in the sun. All of the time in school until I start finding messes all over the ground. You know that French fry that I threw down earlier? Don't do that. Eat the popcorn. Into your mouth. It's so good. Popcorn is like the thing in middle school. Just please make sure you get it in your mouth, not on the floor. Now I've got to clean all that stuff up, but we're going to do it later. Last thing I want to show you. All right. So we're going to go down the hall, and we're going to go to where we get to play games. That's where the staff likes to eat when they're just trying to escape from you. But a couple knocks on the door, and they will come answer it, and whoever you need, they are going to help you. I keep walking down, just having so much fun. Bathrooms, It says bathroom closed right now, but it won't be this fall. That's a good place to go when you need to. Like Mike said in Mr. Kirsch's class, you don't need to ask. Just go. Just go. Now, if it becomes where you're going all the time and you're missing all my classes, then we might have to talk about it. For the most part, if you need to use the bathroom, just go use the bathroom. All right. Now it's lunchtime, and you get to come out here on our beautiful campus, and you get to play. You can go all the way to Metters. Got all that grass there. We've got the basketball courts there. We're on a road, but you can absolutely come out and play Foursquare with Mr. Melka and Mr. Kirsch. All right? Mr. Melka and Mr. Kirsch are pretty much out here every day. Senior likes to come out and play. Miss Slattengren comes out and play. Everybody likes to come out and play Foursquare because it is such a fun game. When I come out here, I'm the king. You guys will have a heck of a time getting me off the king's court. But we play normal rules. We don't usually add the extra stuff. And it's like, all right, let's play. It's not as much fun when there's nobody else out here playing, but you'll get the idea. It's so much fun, and you get to play with Mr. Melka and I, and, you know, go to the end of the line after I get you out, probably. Maybe sometimes I'll let you win. It'll be let, though. Let's the key word. But you guys get to spend lunch out here. One of the cool things about middle school is there are more freedoms. We're not going to line you up and go to class. With those freedoms comes responsibility. You've heard Spider-Man talk about it. With great power comes great responsibility. Yes, yes. You will have more responsibility to go along with your freedom, so make sure you're using it wisely. All right, we're going to go back inside. Oh, I'm locked out. Over here, this is how you get in. You just put your graduation year in the pound sign. I got a cool little key. Graduation year in the pound sign will get you in. We walk back down the hall. It's lunchtime's over. It's 1 o'clock. I got in Mr. Kirsch's class on time. You need to be to class on time. There's no bells in the middle school, so you need to make sure that you have a watch or your buddy has a watch or you know what time it is so that you can get to class. And after lunch at 1 o'clock, you will enter this fabulous room where my McDonald's still sits, and we'll get back at it. And so you're going to have me multiple times a day. I am so pumped to meet all of you and to get to interact with you. Understand that this is kind of a crazy time, so I hope that this helps you kind of get a sense of how the middle school works. I am so pumped to be back in the building, back in the classroom, and teaching you. I get really excited and very passionate about what I teach. I get a little excited sometimes and kind of scare people, but that's okay. It's okay. And you'll have an opportunity to meet a bunch of really cool teachers, be around a lot of really awesome students, do some cool projects. Genius Hour will be going again, and we'll get back into the regular routine. I am missing the routine. I am missing teaching students. I know you're missing being in the classroom. And before you know it, you will be a middle schooler. What? And your parents will be like, oh, where'd all the time go? Well, you're here. I look forward to seeing you guys. Bye.
We are so excited to see you all in the fall. We hope you have a wonderful summer. Go Dragons.